Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages. How are you this morning? We're up a little early today. It's Monday morning, and I'm working on the Christmas tree still. I ran across a problem with the lights that I bought for it. And the problem is that when you unplug these lights, okay, which are very cool, okay, and the ones I want on this tree, okay, when you unplug them, which I'm doing here at the plug down below, okay, I'm using the 4.5 volt adapter, but when it's in the middle of the display in the North Pole, I'm not going to be able to reach it every time I turn the layout on because it has an on-off button, okay, right here, if you can see it, all right, to do the different flashing, fading, chasing, sequential, fade, combination, twinkle, all that stuff. So when you plug it back in, which I'm doing right now, okay, nothing happens. You have to turn it on with the button, okay? So they're steady, and there's flashing on and off, right? Yeah, twinkle it says. Then you got glisten, okay? Next we have waves. Then we have sequential, all right. Then we have chasing. Then we have the fade, where it brightens and gets dim. And then we have number 8, the combination, where it changes from each one up, which is kind of cool, okay. But in order to use these, I've got to be able to hit this button to turn it on. And as you can see, from the light to the box, it's not very long. So what I'm going to show you today is how I'm going to solve that problem by adding some more 24 gauge flex wire so that I can run this from the middle of the layout all the way over to my control panel. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've cut off a piece off of the roll of flex gauge. I have a lot of this stuff because I do train repairs sometimes. And I'm going to use, as you can see, a very long, almost 12 feet, okay? And it's going to be very simple because all I have is 2 ends here. Oh, whoops, let's go this way, okay? That I'm going to cut here. I'm going to trim off the excess. I'm going to solder it together, and I'm going to lengthen that box away from the lights so I can run it under the table over to my control box. It's going to be really cool. Hopefully it works too. So I'm going to start right up here. Turn this so you don't see my ugly face and you see what I'm actually working on, okay? So I'm going to unplug these lights so I don't get electrocuted, which I doubt would happen with 4.5 volts. But you want to be careful with what you're doing. Anytime you work with electricity, always make sure it's turned off. Okay, so I'm going to split that wire there, and I'm going to pull it apart so that I have enough. And all right, where'd my little strippers go? Here they are. I got these really nice strippers here from one of my friends. I believe it was Dale, but I can't remember. I'll have to ask Dale next time I talk to him. He, poor guy's been in the hospital for 5 days, couldn't breathe, had COVID for a while, which my honest opinion is, I don't think there's such a thing as COVID. But that's our government, and I'm not going to go there. This is a channel for fun, okay? So, here we go. I have the wire stripped, okay? You can see that there. And I'm going to do that and put that in my helping hand. Then I'm going to come over to the light, and I'm going to come fairly close to the box so that I can get this part that I'm going to cut, okay? I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to split this wire. Alrighty, pull it apart. I'm going to strip a little bit off of here. All right. That works fairly easily there. All right, and once again, as you can see, it is stripped on the ends. Okay. That leaves me with the box separated. Then I'm going to take this part, see if my, well, come on, box here. You want to come off of there. There we go. Okay, now we're going to take two ends here. Well, first, let's put some shrink tubing on there. All right. I want to put that shrink tubing on there so that it shrinks down when I solder these wires together. And if there's anything showing at all, it will be protected by the shrink tubing, just like the insulation from the wire. Okay, twist that around. There we go. And you want to do this before you solder the wires together, because it's almost impossible to get them together if you don't, or to put it on there if you don't, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, now remember yesterday, or the last video, I showed the flux, okay? So we'll get the flux and get the little flux brush, and we'll get some flux on here and put that on the wires. And again, this just kind of cleans any oxidation and stuff off the wires and helps the solder flow better. Now, I am not a professional solder, so, but I do get good results usually. If anybody sees something I could do better with this, just let me know, okay? And leave it in the comments below. So my next thing is get the gun, and let's find the end of the solder. I'm using solder I got from Parts Express. It's really, really small, and it melts very easily for when you're doing work on small gauge wire. And what we're doing is we're tinning the wire, okay, getting some solder in it so that when we put the two wires together, there we go, that looks good. And you have to excuse me doing this because I have a real bad eyesight. I have glaucoma. I'm almost blind in my right eye. My left eye is pretty good shape, but it's really weird to have a little bit of sight in one eye. And when I had the surgeries to remove the cataracts off of it, which was really fun, having cataracts with glaucoma, doctor put some lenses in my eyes for me so I can see far away with this eye, and I can see up close with my good eye. That way, if I take my glasses off and I squint, I can still see a little bit up close. So we're good there. All right, so now I have these two wires tinned. So I'm going to take these wires here and hopefully sitting here in the helping hands, it'll hold it plenty still. Now I'm looking for, okay, on these wires, okay, you can see here somewhere, okay, back off just a little bit, get it there. Okay, you can see the solid white line with a break in it, then you got smaller white lines. So on my original wire here, it really doesn't have any markings. So what we're going to do, and it shouldn't matter, is solder these wires together. Okay. Can you see that on there? No. Let me turn this a little bit better and bring this down. Okay, here we go. All right, so now I'm going to put these two wires together with the soldering gun. Okay, we got that one on. Worked very well. I'm telling you, when you tin these wires together, it makes it so much easier when you're finally doing the final solder. It just works better. Okay, and next we'll do this one. Okay, now my eyesight's starting to get a little blurry here. I think my morning meds are kicking in. Okay, and we got that one on. So the next thing we want to do, all right. Uh-oh. And there's what I was talking about. One of my tubes came off, my shrink tubes. So I'm going to have to do this again. I hate when I do stuff like this, but at least you can see, you know, it happens. Okay, here it is right here. I found it. All right, so let's unsolder this wire. That shouldn't take much. Okay, got that apart. Now, let's take this shrink tubing back on here. There we go. Always better to double check, and that way you don't have to do what I just did. There we go. That was pretty easy, actually. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is take our shrink tubing. Okay. And we're going to put it over top of the exposed wire. Okay. Then we want to take, we can probably do both of these at once. Okay. Take my, you can actually use a hair dryer or a heat gun for this. Either way will work, but I just like using a, I can't squeeze the trigger on here. It's kind of difficult because of the arthritis, you know. I mean, I'm not that old at 67, but the body is, it's getting there, man. It's getting to where it doesn't want to work. Okay. There we go. Use 2 fingers and just keep it away from it. You don't want to burn it, okay? Okay, you keep it close enough that the heat gets to it and it will shrink it right on that wire, okay? Only takes a few seconds. And there you have it, okay? Now, something I should have done, and I forgot to do, and I can still do it with this, okay, is I'm going to take a bigger heat shrink. I don't know if this will work or not, if I use the same thing. It may work, but I'm going to go a little bit bigger. Let me go real quick over here. I'll take you with me. You can see my mess. Over here I've got my end scale layout, which, you know, someday I'll get it running again. And then my project here, okay, I'm putting all shelves in there, but I'm short about 10 scale shelves. So I need to get some more shelves, which are going to run me about $270. All right, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get this blue. I like blue. Blue's pretty. It's a little bit bigger. Okay. And you can see here in the creation room, I've got all this stuff here. And it's still a mess. I started this, I guess 2 years ago. Yeah, maybe 2 years ago. My dad had passed away. And of course we had a lot of old 70s and 80s furniture in here. And the sad part was, when your family passes away, it's really hard to get rid of stuff and change things. So some of the things in the house I've left, like the paneling on the sides. I mean, that's a lot of money to change that out and stuff, but carpet in here I think was about 35 years old. Nasty, dirty from where water heaters leaked over the years and floods from the laundry tubs and stuff. And so I took that all out and I ended up putting vinyl flooring now, which I still got a few things to finish. I got our stairs to finish and a couple small pieces, and it'll be finished. And it looks pretty nice. I mean, I'm not a professional floor installer, but, I watch some of these YouTube videos guys put out, and, man, it made a big difference. So still got things to do, and I enjoy doing it, but I had surgeries on my back. I had first surgery, was healing up from it, and then about 6 months later, I fell out the front door. Yeah, I know, it's not funny, but I messed up my my back again where I had the surgery. One of the vertebrae twisted like that, and I was in a little bit of pain. So doctor went in and saw Dr. Kurt at Cincinnati, or not Cincinnati, that's for my glaucoma, Mayfield. He does a great job, okay? And he did my surgery and put in a new disc. And then after the new disc, he put some hardware in to keep that from twisting out again. Okay, so here I am. You can see it. It's kind of twisted on there. I got too close and kind of put a burn mark on it, but that's okay. That's just aesthetics. It didn't hurt it. So here we have, yeah, we're good there. Okay, we have that one finished, all right? So I don't have to worry about anything happening. Now, we're going to go back to the other end. You can see how much wire there is, okay? And we're going to do the same thing. So anyway, I had the surgery, and a year went by, and I was able to start doing stuff. And then all of a sudden, my neck started hurting. I couldn't squeeze anything. I was dropping stuff. It was horrible. And come to find out, daggone neck had a disc in it that was really bad. And doc said, well, you're going to need surgery there. So we went in about a year later. And I was doing okay with my back. I mean, it still hurt a lot and spasms and stuff. So they went in through the front, okay, and they took my vocal cords and moved them aside, and they put a new disc in. And after the new disc, they put in the hardware again. And it's been a year and a half again. And I'm starting to feel pretty good. So, still a little weak. All through that time, I've gone through some health issues where I went down to 187 pounds, which I thought I was looking pretty good for an old man, you know. And the other thing that happened was I was diagnosed with diabetes, believe it or not. I had been up to 230 pounds at one point, and I got down to 187. Was feeling pretty good. I mean, the knees were feeling good, the hips were feeling good. And then I was on Ozempic for about a year, and the wonderful insurance I had, United Healthcare, I got into that donut hole with Medicare, and daggone copay went up from $42 to $225. Well, guess who can't afford that? Me, and probably any other senior around too. So we went off of that, and I went on this other diabetes medicine. I forget what it's called, but anyway, it's got the opposite effect of this Ozempic. Ozempic, it makes you lose weight, okay? But for a month's supply, it's $1,200, and then you got a copay and stuff. So it was great stuff, but people start using it for weight loss instead of the intended use of being diabetic, and of course the prices went way up on it, as they always do. So then I found I went to United Healthcare that my dad had, because he always had a decent plan, and I never understood why he never had to pay any monthly fee out of his pocket, which I was paying $25. $25 for getting this first insurance on Medicare. First time I ever had it. Got to do a lot of work watching that. So anyway, I switched over from Anthem to United. And I hope I don't get dinged for this on YouTube, because I mentioned these names. If I do, I have to edit them out. I'll have to learn how to edit, I guess. But anyway, so I don't pay that $25 a month, and all my medicine that I was paying, I was paying $70 a month for, on top of the $25. I now pay nothing. I don't pay the $25, and the nice thing is I don't have to pay that $70, so that helped a little bit. But when I went on Medicare, you got to pay $170 a month out of your Medicare or your Social Security check, which that about killed us. But it's okay. We're getting caught up, getting used to it. And back to this. I'm sorry I bored you with the Medicare story, but next I'm going to get me a couple more pieces of shrink tubing. As you saw, as I was rambling away, I tinned the wires. Okay. Tin the wires on the box. I tin the wires on the wire, and I'm also going to cut my one piece of larger blue tubing so I don't forget. Okay, cut that there. Okay, come on, Chris, you could do this. I'm left-handed, so my left hand's a little bit stronger than my right hand. But it's okay. Now, go ahead and put this blue wire, or blue tubing, on first, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and put the black tubing on each piece. Tear that a little bit more. There we go. All right, so we've got the box here. I'm going to go ahead, and you see that okay? All right, so let's take the first wire. Whoops. I had the wire in between my legs. I couldn't pull it up. Okay, so here we go here. Oh, that's getting hot. Okay, a little farther away. All right, there we go. Okay, I think that's good enough. It feels pretty good there. Yeah, we're all right there. Okay, and take the next wire, put that there. All right, here we go. Man, it's a little bit curved, so it makes it harder to do. Okay. All right, there we go. Make sure we got that pretty tight. I don't want this coming apart after I... All right, we got that. Now let's put... messed up there, but that's all right. We got enough here. Let's take this back here, and don't tell me I did it again. I did it again. I dropped a piece of tubing. Can you believe that? Okay, so let's go ahead and shrink this. Well, I tell you what, you try to do something and make it look good. All right, there's that one. There it is down there. All right, I'm going to step out of the picture for a second and pick up the piece. I'm going to pick up the pieces. Pick up the pieces. Oh, geez, I don't believe I just did that. In case some of you youngsters don't know that one, that's from the 70s, from a band called the Average White Band. All right. Really, really good band. They were instrumental. And they had a great name, Average White Band. That was black when there was a lot of, or back when there was a lot of black funk bands, you know, Earth, Wind and Fire, you know, some great bands like that. And the really neat thing is if you didn't know their name or see them, you would think they were a black band. They had a lot of good funk, a lot of fun to listen to. Never got to see them in concert, but that would have been fun to see. All right, so we're back at it. Get that down a little bit. Nobody wants to see my ugly face anyway. All right, so here we go. Okay, looks like, oh, I think I want to do a little bit better than that. Getting hot. Getting hot. Yes, sir. Okay. Now, I am done with that. So turn it off and make sure these wires are close together. And once again, we'll, come on, there we go. Shrink up that tube. Okay, that's good. All right. Before we go any further, let's make sure this works, huh? Okay, plugged in. Now, plug in the light. Uh-oh. Oh, I got to plug the other end in, dummy. Okay, here we go. Plug in the adapter. And they work, okay? So, you can see here that it works fine. All right, I'm going to take this off. And you'll see. Oh, come on. I ran over it with the wheel. Dropped the lighter. Okay. I got, once again, I'll tell you what, you get old and you start dropping stuff. Can't see things, but it's okay. I'm still alive. Still playing with my hobby. And eventually, I'm going to get to the point where this is all done. And I will be able to just run trains and show train videos. And have a good time. Have people over and share the trains with them. And hopefully looking forward to meeting a lot of you people out there on YouTube. Come on. There we go. That watch the videos and make some new friends. I've made a few friends already. I haven't met most of them, but it is nice. Okay, there we go. So, here is, okay, if you remember, it was about this long from end to end to the lights. Now, I had all this wire, okay, that goes up to the lights, and that's going to give me allowance to put this in the middle of the layout to where I don't have to worry about reaching it. Okay, so there you have it, folks. You got a short wire, you need to extend it. It's pretty simple, even though it took me 30 minutes, but a lot of that's because I was talking to you. So I appreciate you watching. I'm sure we're going to have some more videos like this as we move along. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope it taught you something. I know a lot of you guys out there, you're a lot smarter than I am with electronics and that, but a lot of people don't know this stuff, so hopefully we taught somebody something and it will help. So if you enjoyed this video, please share it. Please like it. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. We've gone up to 186 since the last video I posted from 184. So I'm excited about that. That's really nice. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next time on CB Train Nuts. Crazy videos on YouTube. Bye. Have a good day, everybody.